So, as introduced, my name is Retallick, and I am the author of this book, David and Goliath, How Independent Retailers Can Take on the Giants and Win. But what I thought I'd do, I'd just give you a little bit of background about me, a little bit of where I come from, and then we'll talk a little bit about what independent retailers can do to overcome these huge giant online retailers. So, here's a picture of my dad. And my dad was in retail all his life. And I can remember when we were little children, my brother and my sister and myself, we used to live in a shop we used to live in a house over the shop in the high street in Sidcup. And when we were young, we used to run around like crazy things, as children do. Maybe play hide and seek, blind man's buff, whatever it was. And every now and again, we'd get a phone call from my dad, who was downstairs in the shop. Basically, the line would go something like this. "Oi, what are you lot doing up there? You're running around like crazy. It sounds like we've got a herd of elephants stomping around. It's annoying the customers." And we'd calm down a little bit, and we'd go and do something quiet, read a book, and then we'd get a little bit restless and start running around again. The funny thing was that I couldn't understand, as a 9-year-old skinny little boy, how I could even seem even similar to a stomping elephant, but that's what he said. And that's my first lesson in retail, is how important it is to keep the customers happy. It's good having great products, to give them great service, but everything's got to be right. Brian Tracy, from his book, The Psychology of Selling, talks about the halo effect. So everything counts. We've got to make sure that everything counts. So later on, my dad, he won some awards for his as a retail manager, and he actually gained a reputation for transforming failing stores into thriving successes. And that's why he won an award for that. That was back in the 1990s, I think it was. And yet, what was interesting was that when he went into his own retail business, he really struggled. He struggled to make a living. In fact, he tried 3 different retail businesses, and he struggled every time. And in the last business, he was so stressed that he lost concentration while he was driving. And sadly, he died in a car accident. He was only 57, which is the same age as I am now. It's kind of spooky, thinking that I'm standing here. In place of my dad. I had great admiration for him. So, since that time, I've often wondered what it was that caused him to struggle. What was it that made it so difficult for him? Because he was smart, he was intelligent, as you can see, he won lots of awards, and yet he struggled. And while I did research for my book, I spoke to lots and lots of independent retailers, and I met very smart, very intelligent, independent retailers all around the country who missed golden nuggets of opportunities that were standing right in front of them. And I think it was just because they're so busy. And I know retailers, you're busy, it's a busy life. You've got to get things done, and it's sometimes we miss things that are right there in front of them. So a little bit of background about myself, not to be outdone by my dad, I won 1 or 2 awards here and there. And for nearly 20 years, I supplied decorative lighting to independent retailers and department stores, including a few people like Harrods and Selfridges. And while I was working with them, I learned firsthand the challenges that independent retailers like yourself face. And I felt that something needed to be done, because the landscape is changing, isn't it? At the moment, independent retailers face their toughest challenge since the rise of the national chain stores in the 1930s. If you go back in the history books, you'll see the challenges that independent retailers face. They're going out of business overnight because these big chain stores are coming along. Today, independent retailers are facing the same problem because of the likes of the giants, Amazon, and a host of national chain stores throughout the country. So the problem is, and tell me if you recognise this, is that customers are using bricks and mortar retailers as showrooms for the internet. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that happens, doesn't it? What do? They come into the shop, They have a look at the products, touch them, feel them, try it on. I've even got a friend of mine down in Cornwall who runs a clothing shop, and a customer came in there the other day and asked him, could you take a measurement? I don't know what size I am. You know, haven't a clue. Inside leg, arm leg, chest, everything. Oh, could you write it down on a piece of paper for me? Thank you. Bum, bum, bum. You know what's coming, don't you? Thank you so much. I've seen a suit on the internet, I just didn't know what my size was. So now I know, I'll go and get it. And off you went. Pathetic. So, what happens is they come into the store, they do all of this, they even seek advice and expertise from you. They narrow down exactly what it is that they want, and then they rush off and buy the exact same product online at a fraction of the cost. That sound familiar? Okay, yeah. Now, you've got a choice in that moment. You can either price match, which seriously erodes your margins, or you can choose to stand your ground at the risk of losing the sale. Either way, you're on a hiding to nothing. It's kind of a no-win situation, isn't it? And the problem with people who have bricks and mortar retailers, a high street presence if you like, is that on average, your overheads are 3 times higher than your online counterparts. So you're always on a losing wicket, aren't you? You just can't, you're never going to win it. You know, so it's a very, very difficult situation to find yourself in. So there we have in the middle, we have the Amazons, we have the Wayfairs, we have all sorts of online people that are just creaming the business away from the independent retailers. It's going on and on and on. I just want to say at this point, I have nothing against Amazon, I have nothing against Wayfair. Shamelessly, you can buy my book on Amazon, so that is not the issue, okay? The issue is, how do we prevent customers, or we help customers, to just play one against the other? So they come into your shop, they get information from you, and then they go online to Amazon and get the same product at a fraction of the cost. And that's really what we need to look at and find out how we can overcome that. So, the key, I believe, is for independent retailers to become specialist retailers. Because when you're a specialist, and I've spoken to a few people here today who have specialised and they have a niche product, when you specialise, you start gathering and attracting more of the right kind of customers. People who want to come into your store because they want to buy from you, they see something different, and they see something that maybe they can't get anywhere else. So that's the first thing. However, what we're going to define is, what is a specialist retailer? Well, before I go into that, let's just have a look at what a specialist retailer is not. Because there's some confusion about that. When I speak to independent retailers up and down the country, and I suggest this to them, very often the reply is, well, I'm already a specialist retailer. And in a way they are, but what they mean by that is they've got a niche range of products, and they've got a target market. And that's who they're selling their products to. Now that is kind of a specialist retailer, but it's only one element of becoming a specialist retailer. There are in fact 5 key elements that you need to have in play all the time before you can really qualify as a specialist retailer and start attracting these kind of customers into your store. So what's the first one? So the first one is you really need to know your target market. Okay? Now, this is not something that you can do on a post-it note. Think, oh, I think I'm going to, this is my kind of customer, this is who I would like to come into my store. You really need to dig down deep. We want to know who he or she is, where do they live, what kind of car do they drive, what kind of income do they turn over, what are they like, what are the dislikes, where will I find them, what's the demographic. You may find that your target market, your ideal customer, is not a customer yet, and that's fine, okay? But we need to know who that person is before we can provide them products and services that they will like. Too often, is what I see around the country, is we get caught up with the products. Wow, this is great, and we're in a great exhibition here, so we can go around here, we can find great products, let's put them in the store. Without really understanding, really understanding who our target market is. Okay, so that's element number 1. The next thing we need to do, we need to create a message that will resonate with that target customer. Again, this is not something you can just trot out on a back of an envelope. You know, we need to know what is your business about, and it's so important to again dig deep, find out what your business is about, and how can your message resonate with that target customer. Okay, so for example, when James Dyson launched his revolutionary new vacuum cleaner back in the 80s, I think, or 90s. He really struggled to make sales. It seems crazy that he could struggle to make sales in the UK market. And the reason was because they were so expensive, and people go, oh, why would I want to spend all that money on a vacuum cleaner? Didn't make sense. At that time, the disposable bag market for vacuum cleaners in the United Kingdom was £100 million turnover. And that's what you did. You vacuumed, filled up the bag, threw it away, got another one. And it was only when James Dyson and his team got their compelling message together, say goodbye to the bag, that they started making sales. Sales started to rocket. Because people understood, they got it. Oh, okay, nice vacuum cleaner. Yes, it's luxurious, it does all these fancy stuff. Say goodbye to the bag, that's his message. Really important, that message needs to be repeated over and over and over again. Okay? So that people connect your business, your target customer, when they think about you as a retailer, they think about the products you sell, they get the message. In this case, say goodbye to the bag. Okay? The next important thing is that we need to make sure that we've got the right products and services that are targeted at our target market. So you know what the message is, we've got a target market, we need to know which products and services. So you could almost say targeted products and services. Okay? And again, it might sound so straightforward and simple, but I was in a shop recently, I won't say where, but it was in Gerrard's Cross. Anyway, so this lovely, lovely showroom, and they were selling very high ticket items, furniture, lighting, etc. And every time I go there, all day long, there's people coming in and out. Can I get a lamp bulb? Can I get a switch? Can I get this? Can I get that? Whatever. And they're complaining because they're not getting the turnover because the margins are so low. And they've got these beautiful products up on the ceiling and on the floor and around. But no one's buying them because they're spending so much time on the customer who's not really their target customer. So it's really, really important that we know what our products and services are. I'll just give you an example here. So this is Rob James. He's here today. I don't know if he's here now, but he was here earlier. So Rob owns a interior design shop, showroom, gallery. Who told me it was a gallery? Somebody said it was a gallery. Yeah, gallery in Chandler's Ford. Okay, it's beautiful. It's an eclectic mix of lighting, of soft furnishings, you name it, it's there. I recommend you go there. It's a really, really nice showroom. A few years ago, he realised there's so much competition because people are coming into his shop and they're actually doing what everybody does, looks at the products, getting the smartphone out, can you get this 20% cheaper, can you match that? So he had that challenge and he realised he needs to do something a little bit more. So what Rob did was he started offering an add-on service, and he would go to the customer's home for free initially, and he would do a lighting design for them or an interior design. He would take it from the bottom floor right up to the bedroom, to the lounge, to the bathrooms, etc. And he would then explain to them what they need to do, and then they come and they would buy the products from him. As time went on, he realised actually these customers were really enjoying this, and he started charging for that service. Provided they bought the product from him, he would deduct that amount off the products that they bought from him. But then he realised that he's getting so busy that he can't do that anymore, and not without making a profit. And so he charges a premium. He's telling me it's about £1,500 to do a full-on lighting design from beginning to end. You get them all in. You're not going to get a discount. It's not going to be deducted from the products you buy from me. That is the price. And they're paying it. They are paying it. In some months, he told me last month, I think it was December, that he's now finding that he's making more money in his design service than in his products. And we're not all designers, I understand that. You know, we don't all have this area of expertise. But just think about that for a moment. What is it about your business? What is it about you personally that you can add that will add value to your business and to your customers. Okay. So, the fourth point is prospecting. How many of you, if I can ask you, when your business is a bit quiet, not many customers coming in and out, pick up the phone and start ringing people to come into their shop, or you go down the high street asking people to come into your store? Anybody? Can I see any? Show of hands? No? Okay. All right. And yeah, it's what, and I can understand why, because prospecting is pretty scary, isn't it? You know, going out. What we mean by prospecting, I'll just qualify that, is we're seeking for business. Okay, we're letting people know that we're there. So this is more than just the website. Hello, we're here. Come and see us. Or a nice sign on the window. Come in. We're great. Buy from us. This is an active prospecting strategy or campaign. So we're phoning. Yeah? We're emailing, we're promoting things on social media, we're getting our name out there so that people know what we're about, what we're doing all sorts of campaigns and promotions so we get people into the shop. Very few retailers do this. If you do that, you'll be like 100 miles ahead of your competitors, because nobody does it. Now, I've got a friend of mine, VJ from Retallick in London, and this is what he does. Customer walks into the shop. Oh, I like your products, I'd like to buy this, I'd like to buy that. And then the punchline, can you give me a discount? Ooh, discount. They might negotiate something. I said, tell you what, I'll match the price on the internet, but before I do that, just tell me something. Did you enjoy the service? Yeah, great. Like the product? Great. What do you think of the shop? Beautiful. So you like it? Very nice. Yeah, it's great. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a discount on condition. You take a photograph of us in the shop and you post it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, to all your friends and say, had a great day at Retallick today, great products, great service, and this is what I bought. 2 minutes. There you go, thank you very much, here's your discount. All of a sudden, what's the most powerful form of advertising? Everybody knows. Word of mouth, okay? All of a sudden he's got word of mouth out to, I don't know, 300 people on that social media website, 400, 500, maybe 1,000 people that they know. I know Ian, yeah, he's a good friend of mine, he's recommending VJ Shop. Okay, all of a sudden there's that connection, isn't there? Alright, so we need to be prospecting. And then finally, the fifth element is you need to create a personal profile. We need to raise our personal branding. What is the differentiator between you, independent retailers, and the giant online retailers, the Amazons, the Wayfairs, and of course your competition? All right, it's yourself. You have a unique take on your business. It's your expertise that makes a difference. The biggest mistake that I see, and I'm sorry to be a little bit judgmental, but it does worry me. But the biggest mistake that I see on social media when retailers promote their products is they do just that. They promote their products. So they end up looking exactly like everybody else. Products. I've seen that, okay. And all the customers are doing is just, they're just kind of doing a shop on you and checking where can I get that product cheaper. What we've got to do is we've got to take the products away just momentarily, and we need to put you in the forefront of the business because you are unique. And you are the ones that make the difference. We often hear about this, we're going to have B2B. There's no such thing as B2B. B2C. No such thing as B2C. There's only one thing that counts, and that's P2P. People to people. Okay? And people buy from people. So the more that they know you, the more they get familiar with who you are, the more likely they're going to come into your showroom and buy from you through an online website. And so what we do is, as you share your expertise, as you share tips, ideas, if you're giftware, what can I share on social media that will help these customers gain some value? So you're giving them ideas, tips, expertise, and please don't worry about giving away your ideas, okay? I'm really sorry to disillusion you. I really don't want to burst your bubble. But there are very, very few new ideas, okay? So whatever you share, they can find somewhere else. The information that you're sharing is out there already. What's the difference? It's your personality, okay? They get to know you, they get to see your take on it. You know, when you think about the cookery programs, and we think about Mary Berry and Jamie Oliver, okay? Hey, they're both cooks. They both bake things, they both cook things, alright? They both do the same thing, it's exactly the same thing. And yet they're both very prominent. People love tuning in, they want to speak to them, hear them, talk to them. But it's because of their personality that's coming across. Now you might be worried a little bit thinking, yeah, but I'm a bit shy, I'm a bit reserved, I don't want to blow my own trumpet. The only way you're going to blow your own trumpet is if you're thinking about yourself, okay? If you set yourself up on social media as you're raising a personal profile and you start talking to your customers about them, about the benefits of your services and products to them, and you just keep them in the forefront of your mind, I promise you, you will not come across in any way braggadocious at all. Okay? So here we have a website from Jerry Cheshire. He owns Surrey Beds. Down in Surrey. I can't remember where he is now. But anyway, down in Surrey. And he kind of got onto this a few years ago. He realised that he was just putting beds and things on his website and social media, come and buy my beds, I've got a new bed, and he was looking exactly the same as everybody else. So what he did was, he decided he was going to promote content, okay? He was going to promote ideas and concepts. So he wrote a book, okay? That's something you can do, write a book. Trust me, if I can write a book, you can write a book, okay? It's not that difficult. Sleeping blissfully, whole concept about how to sleep. Find out the 7 mistakes people make when buying a bed. Alright, you download a PDF. So you've got all this information, he's got videos, he's got interviews with customers in his shop, and he's got this whole media interaction going on. And in today's world, it's so nice because it's free. You know, we don't have to pay anybody to do this, we can do this ourselves. Alright? So we can work with our experience. So what he found was that prior to doing this, the average spend on his mattresses was £500. And they were the tire kickers, they were the onliners that were coming in and saying, oh, £500, can I do it for £450? I get the same one for £400 on Amazon. Can you match that? Okay? Post all of his social media. This, by the way, needs to be repetitive. You can't just do it once. It has to be regular, weekly, monthly, because that's how people get to know you. Post doing this, he's finding his average spend per mattress is between £1,000 and £2,000. And people are coming into the shop thinking, hey Cherry? Yeah, I saw you on YouTube. Yeah, I was looking at your video. Yeah, and already they've already created a relationship. They haven't even met the guy, but they know who he is. So they got this incredible bond with him, and he's giving them advice. He still gets the tire kickers coming in, he still gets the discounters, the bargain hunters. But he's getting a lot more of his target market, because he knew who his target market was, and he went and got them. Does that make sense? Alright, we'll have questions in a moment. Okay, just to summarise, you need to know who your target market is, you need to dig deep, you need to create a compelling message, find a script writer, speak to a brand consultant. They're not as expensive as you think they are, and just ask them to help you to create a message about your business. Create targeted products and services for your target market. Make sure you're prospecting. I know it's scary, but you need to do it, okay? And then raise your personal profile. Okay, so back in the 1940s, in rural America, there were no shops. And the only way that they could buy anything was that they had to buy it from a mail order catalogue. And they used to get, a well-known brand then was Roebuck Sears. And they had this really nice catalogue that would go out. It was kind of like bringing the shopping centre to the farm. It was great. Look through the catalogue, decide what they wanted. The problem is, in those days, they didn't have this glossy printing materials as they did, and a lot of it was black and white. And so to help their customers decide which products to buy, they'd have them categorised into good, better and best. So you might, for example, you can have a good pair of shoes, men's shoes, for $1.50. But if you want a better pair of shoes, that might cost you $2.50. But if you want the real best shoes from that company, it might be $3.50. And sometimes it made more sense to buy the more expensive. pair of shoes. And so I meet independent retailers across the country who I love. I have such great admiration for you. Having worked in retail with my dad for about 5 years, I learned a lot about customers, retailers, merchandising. I think the majority of the retailers that I meet are good at what they do. In fact, I know they are. They've got great products, good products, and they've got good service. But unfortunately, that's not enough to differentiate you from your competitors. Okay? A better retailer has got good products, good services, and probably one or more of those 5 elements that I spoke about. But the very best retailers, the ones who I would call specialist retailers, have all 5 elements of those in place, plus they've got good products and good services. Okay? So, you know, we've been known, we are well known, and you'll know this, as a nation of shopkeepers. You've heard that phrase for hundreds of years. And it's kind of a nice, endearing phrase to be known by. But I think it's time for us to become known as a nation of specialist retailers, where customers will come from all over the country, all over the world, and they'll come to this country, and this is just an ideal time to do this. When we think about all the things that are going on in Europe at the moment, that we become known as a country of specialist retailers, where customers can get that extra special service, they get a connection with their customer, with the retailers, they get that extra special service, and they're looking for something they just can't get anywhere else around the world. So who knows which showroom they're going to come into? Could it be yours? Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.